Welcome to Terror Tales. Tonight, we're diving deep into the abyss of human experience, exploring the darkest corners of our world. We're about to embark on a journey into the heart of 10 true horror stories that will chill you to your core. These aren't just stories. They are windows into the unsettling reality that things do go bump in the night. So, lock your doors, turn off the lights and prepare to be spooked, because these tales are not for the faint of heart. Our journey begins in the early 1800s in Adams, Tennessee. Imagine a time when the world was lit by candlelight, when whispers of the unknown traveled on the wind. This is where the tale of the Bell Witch unfolds. John Bell and his family were tormented by an entity, a spirit of malevolence that became known as the Bell Witch. This wasn't just a friendly ghost. It was something far more sinister, something that delighted in tormenting this family. It would whisper threats, pull hair, pinch and scratch family members. The entity was said to move objects, make noises, and even speak in different voices, mimicking the voices of people the Bells knew. The Bell Witch became a local legend, a terrifying example of the darkness that could lurk just beyond the veil of our reality. But the most disturbing aspect of this story was the witch's apparent ability to physically harm its victims. John Bell, the patriarch of the family, suffered the worst of the witch's wrath. He experienced a slow and agonizing decline in health, plagued by mysterious ailments that doctors couldn't explain. The Bell Witch's reign of terror continued for years, leaving an indelible mark on the family and the community. Now we travel across the Atlantic to 1970s England, to the unassuming suburban home of the Hodgson family. This is where one of the most well-documented cases of poltergeist activity took place, a story that shocked the world. The chaos began subtly, with knocking sounds and furniture moving inexplicably. The disturbances escalated, targeting the family's youngest daughters, Margaret and Janet. Imagine being an 11-year-old girl, hearing your furniture moving by itself, seeing objects flying through the air. This was the reality for Margaret and Janet. The entity, dubbed the Enfield Poltergeist, seemed to have a particular interest in the two girls. They reported being levitated, thrown about their rooms, and even speaking in disembodied voices. The events at Enfield were witnessed by neighbours, police officers, and even researchers from the Society for Psychical Research. These were not isolated incidents. They were witnessed by multiple credible sources, lending a chilling air of authenticity to the Hodgson family's ordeal. Photographs were taken, recordings were made, and the story spread like wildfire, capturing the imaginations and fears of people around the globe. The Enfield Poltergeist case remains one of the most compelling and unsettling accounts of paranormal activity ever recorded. It's a stark reminder that even in the supposed safety of our homes, we may not be alone. Our next stop takes us to the quiet neighborhood of Amityville, New York. It's 1975, and the Lutz family is about to experience a nightmare so terrifying it would become synonymous with the very essence of a haunted house. Picture this: a beautiful Dutch colonial home recently purchased at a shockingly low price. The Lutz family was excited to move into their dream home, unaware of the darkness that lurked within its walls. Just 13 months prior, the house had been the scene of a horrific mass murder. 6 members of the DeFeo family were shot dead by one of their own, Ronald DeFeo Jr. From the moment the Lutz family moved in, they were met with a barrage of unexplained phenomena. Cold spots, foul odours and strange noises permeated the house. George Lutz, the father, began experiencing vivid nightmares and a sudden shift in personality. He would wake up at 3:15 a.m. every morning, the approximate time of the DeFeo murders. Kathy, his wife, felt an unseen presence touching her and saw red eyes staring at her from the darkness. The children claimed to see a demonic pig-like creature with glowing red eyes. The family's experiences were so terrifying, so overwhelming, that they fled the house after only 28 days, leaving behind their belongings and their sanity. The Amityville Horror remains one of the most debated and controversial paranormal cases in history, Was it a genuine haunting, a manifestation of residual energy from the murders, or an elaborate hoax? The answer, like the evil that allegedly resided within the walls of 112 Ocean Avenue, remains elusive. Chapter 4. The Exorcism of Anneliese Michel. We delve now into the unsettling realm where faith and fear collide. This is the tragic and deeply disturbing story of Anneliese Michel, a young woman from Germany who became the subject of one of the most controversial exorcism cases in history. Imagine a young woman raised in a devout Catholic family, suddenly plagued by strange and terrifying afflictions. Anneliese's ordeal began with seizures, followed by hallucinations and a severe aversion to religious iconography. Her behavior became increasingly erratic, marked by self-harm, speaking in voices, and even eating insects. Convinced that Anneliese was possessed by demonic forces, her family sought help from the church. For over a year, Anneliese underwent a series of intense exorcism rituals, 67 in total, often lasting for hours on end. The exorcism sessions were grueling, both for Anneliese and the priests involved. Recordings of the sessions capture her tormented voice, speaking in different languages and claiming to be possessed by multiple demonic entities. As the exorcisms continued, Anneliese's physical condition deteriorated. She refused food and water, her body ravaged by the rituals and her own self-inflicted wounds. In 1976, after enduring a year of unimaginable physical and psychological torture, Anneliese Michel died at the age of 23. Her death sparked a media frenzy and ignited a debate about the line between mental illness and demonic possession. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, a popular horror film, drew inspiration from Anneliese's story, further cementing its place in the annals of paranormal history. Chapter 5. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. Our journey takes us now to the desolate and unforgiving landscape of the Ural Mountains in Russia. It's 1959, the height of the Cold War, and a group of 9 experienced hikers are about to embark on an expedition that will end in their mysterious and gruesome deaths. Picture this: a group of friends full of life and eager for adventure, setting out into the wilderness. Led by Igor Dyatlov, an experienced skier and hiker, the group consisted of students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Their goal was to reach Mount Otorten, a peak known to the indigenous Mansi people as Dead Mountain. The hikers were never seen alive again. Weeks later, their tent was discovered on the slopes of a nearby mountain, Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Mountain of the Dead in the Mansi language. The tent was ripped open from the inside, as if something had forced its way out. The hikers' bodies were found scattered around the campsite, some partially clothed, some with severe injuries that defied explanation. Some were found wearing each other's clothes as if they had tried to share warmth in their final moments. Soviet authorities investigated the incident but were unable to determine a definitive cause of death. The official conclusion was a compelling force unknown, but the strange circumstances surrounding the hikers' deaths fueled decades of speculation. Theories range from avalanches to military experiments to even encounters with something paranormal. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century, a chilling reminder of the unforgiving power of nature and the unknown terrors that may lurk in the wilderness. Chapter 6. The Black-Eyed Children. Our next tale plunges us into the realm of urban legend and unexplained phenomena. This is the unsettling story of the black-eyed children, entities that blur the line between paranormal and something far more sinister. Imagine this: you're home alone, it's late at night, and you hear a knock at the door. You open it to find 2 children standing there, their faces obscured by the shadows. As they step into the light, you notice their eyes, completely black, devoid of any discernible iris or pupil. Encounters with these children have been reported worldwide, often taking place at night or in isolated areas. The children are described as being between the ages of 6 and 14, with pale skin and an unsettling aura. They often travel in pairs, and their voices are said to be unusually adult-like and persuasive. Witnesses describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread and fear in the presence of these children. Some report experiencing physical symptoms like nausea, headaches, and a sudden drop in temperature. The most unsettling aspect of these encounters is the children's insistence on being invited inside. They often claim to need to use the phone or to be let in from the cold, but their true intentions remain shrouded in mystery. The black-eyed children phenomenon has become a fixture of internet folklore, with countless stories and theories circulating online. Are they extraterrestrial visitors, demonic entities, or something else entirely? The answer, like their eyes, remains unsettlingly unknown. Chapter 7. The Slender Man Stabbing. This next story takes us from the realm of internet folklore to a chilling real-life crime that shocked the world. This is the story of the Slender Man Stabbing, a case that highlights the dark side of online obsession and the very real consequences of blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Imagine being 12 years old, caught in the throes of an all-consuming online world. For two young girls in Waukesha, Wisconsin, that world became tragically intertwined with the fictional horror character known as Slender Man. Slender Man, a tall, faceless figure in a black suit, was born on the internet. He was a product of a creepypasta, a user-generated horror story that went viral in 2009. For most people, Slender Man was a fictional character, a source of chills and thrills in the online world. But for these two girls, he became something far more real, far more dangerous. The girls believed that Slender Man was real, that he lived in the woods near their homes, and that he demanded a sacrifice to prove their loyalty. They lured their friend, also 12 years old, into the woods, where they stabbed him. The victim, miraculously, survived the attack and managed to crawl to a nearby road where she was found by authorities. The attackers were apprehended and claimed they were compelled to commit the act to appease. The Slender Man Stabbing case sent shockwaves. The case sparked a debate about the responsibility of parents and tech companies to monitor children's online activity and the importance of separating fantasy from reality. Our journey takes us now to the hills of West Virginia, to a small town called Point Pleasant. It's the 1960s, and a wave of strange sightings and unexplained events is about to grip this community, culminating in a tragedy that would forever be linked to the legend of the Mothman. Imagine a creature of the night, with glowing red eyes and wings that span over 10 feet. This is the Mothman, a cryptid that has haunted the imaginations of people worldwide. The first reported sighting of the Mothman occurred in 1966, when two couples driving late at night claimed to have seen a large, bird-like creature with glowing red eyes. This was just the beginning. Over the next year, sightings of the Mothman continued to pour in. Some described it as a winged humanoid, others as a giant bird with glowing eyes. Many witnesses reported feelings of dread and uneasiness in the presence of the creature. As the sightings continued, so too did the strange occurrences in Point Pleasant. People reported UFO sightings, encounters with men in black, and unexplained phone calls. The town was gripped by fear and uncertainty. Then, on December 15, 1967, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge, a suspension bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed during rush hour, sending 46 people to their death. Some believe the Mothman was a harbinger of doom, a creature that appeared to warn of impending disaster. Others believe it was a manifestation of mass hysteria, a product of the fear and uncertainty that gripped the town. The Mothman Prophecies, a book and later a film, brought the story of Point Pleasant to a wider audience, cementing its place in paranormal lore. To this day, the legend of the Mothman continues to fascinate and frighten, a reminder of the strange and unexplained phenomena that continue to baffle us. Our next stop takes us to San Jose, California, to a sprawling Victorian mansion that is as bizarre as it is beautiful. This is the Winchester Mystery House, a testament to one woman's eccentric life and her belief that she was haunted by the ghosts of those killed by Winchester rifles. Imagine a house with doors that open to walls, staircases that lead to nowhere, and windows that overlook other rooms. This is the Winchester Mystery House, a 160-room labyrinthine mansion that was under construction for 38 years. The house was built by Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the Winchester repeating arms fortune. After the deaths of her husband and infant daughter, Sarah consulted a medium who told her that she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. The medium advised Sarah to move west and build a house for the spirits, a house that would never be finished. Sarah took the medium's advice to heart. She purchased a farmhouse in San Jose and began construction on a grand mansion. The house was under constant construction, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 38 years. Sarah believed that as long as the house was being built, the spirits would be appeased and she would be safe from their wrath. The Winchester Mystery House is a place of strange and unexplained occurrences. Visitors and staff have reported seeing apparitions, hearing footsteps and feeling cold spots. Doors slam shut for no reason, lights flicker, and disembodied voices echo through the halls. The Winchester Mystery House is a physical manifestation of Sarah Winchester's grief, guilt, and her belief in the supernatural. It stands today as a testament to the power of belief and the enduring mystery of the afterlife. Our final tale takes us to the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, to a ship that was found adrift, its crew vanished without a trace. This is the story of the Mary Celeste, a merchant ship that became synonymous with maritime mystery. Imagine a ship sailing the open ocean, its sails billowing in the wind. Then imagine that ship completely deserted, its cargo untouched, its lifeboat still on board. This is the baffling mystery of the Mary Celeste. On December 4th, 1872, the Mary Celeste was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean by the crew of another ship, the Dei Gracia. The ship was seaworthy, its cargo intact, and there was no sign of a struggle. The crew's belongings were still in their quarters, food was on the table, and the ship's logbook was found open, its last entry made 10 days earlier. The crew of the Mary Celeste had vanished without a trace. The mystery of the Mary Celeste has captivated the world for over a century. Countless theories have been proposed, ranging from piracy to mutiny to even sea monsters and alien abductions. Some speculate that a rogue wave may have swept the crew overboard, while others believe that a fear of a potential explosion from the ship's cargo of alcohol may have led the captain to order an evacuation. But without any concrete evidence, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of the most enduring maritime mysteries of all time. The Mary Celeste stands as a ghostly reminder of the vastness and unpredictability of the ocean and the secrets that lie hidden beneath its waves. There goes the lights, and another 10 tales of terror fade into the darkness. But the questions linger, don't they? The unsettling feeling that maybe, just maybe, there's more to our world than meets the eye. If these stories have chilled you to the bone, given you goosebumps, or made you double-check the locks on your doors, then we've done our job. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Terror Tales for more explorations into the darkest corners of our world. Until next time, sleep tight and remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true.